Hey everybody, I hope that you're doing well. It's been pretty cold here in Florida, but with that said, I wanted to do a quick recap because my family and we had the opportunity to go somewhere that was quite a bit warmer. We were able to do a cruise on the Disney Wish, and we were able to head down south to Nassau and to Castaway Cay, which is one of Disney's private islands that they have, and we had an absolute blast. And so I wanted to real quick do some of my favorites, some of the things that we really enjoyed about the cruise. And the first one that I wanted to bring out, because I was unaware of this, was rotational dining. I had no idea what that was. I didn't know that they had that on the ship, but basically what that means is that you go through the different dining settings as you go through the voyage. So our first one was 1923. It was straightforward dinner, no shows or anything like that. That was my wife and my favorite. The second one that we did was the Marvel dinner. It was themed to the Avengers. It was the Avengers Quantum Encounter. And that was my children's favorite. I won't do any spoilers or anything like that. But there was a show that went along with the dinner. And then our last dinner was Arendelle. And that also had a show component as well, with some of the characters and songs from the film. So 1923 didn't have that show element, but the other two dining rooms did. Another thing that I wanted to bring out when it came to talking about the dining rooms and the shows, we had a later dining time. And so if you're planning on going on the Wish, I would definitely recommend you to try to get the earlier time. It didn't necessarily work as well as we would have liked for our children to have an 8:15 dinner time. But one thing that was very helpful was with the dinner times being one earlier and one later, the shows also did the same thing. There was two shows per night. So my wife and we saw all three shows. Disney Sees the Adventure, which was a review of a number of different songs and characters. The second night was The Little Mermaid. The Little Mermaid. And the third night was our favorite show, which was Aladdin. And they were all spectacular. The crew and the cast members, they did phenomenal on the shows. So we made sure to see every one of them, and they were all super great. Another thing that I wanted to bring out, there's all these different lounges on the ship, right? All these different places to go. And one of them, if you get a chance to get on this ship, is the Star Wars Hyperspace Lounge. It was so cool. It was great for adults and for kids because they also offered non-alcoholic drinks so that the kids were able to get something special. We were able to get the cups with the Porg on them to purchase. So we actually came home with one of those cups, and the kids, they had a blast. Every few minutes on the monitors there, the screen goes off into hyperspeed. And as the ship goes off, your bands go off too, light speed, heading off. And so the kids really enjoyed that. The other thing that I wanted to bring out, and one of my final things to bring out, was that there was a water ride on the ship, the Aqua Mouse. And I've read since then that there's an Aqua Duck on some of the others themed to Donald. But it was really neat. The same animation style as Runaway Railway at Hollywood Studios. Very cool ride. Nothing too intense. I think everybody that's interested in rides would be able to do this. But it was a water ride, and it went around the deck of the ship. So it was definitely cool to check out. We were able to do so many things on the voyage. We were able to see Moana 2 on the ship. We were able to eat a lot of other meals at other places on the ship, as I only mentioned the dinners, but we were able to have breakfast and lunch at different locations. And one day we did have breakfast again at Arendelle, and one day we had lunch at 1923. So overall, it was a fantastic time. If you're looking for specifics, if you're planning on going on it, feel free to comment and list your questions, and I'll try the best that I can to answer them. But overall, it was a great voyage. We had a wonderful time. But again, I'm glad overall to be back, even though it is quite cold here in Florida right now. So that's my recap of our voyage on the Disney Wish. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please feel free to like it, share it, and again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment.